Good evening, it's Sunday Express on the 6th of April 2025, and tonight on our bulletin we're going to be following up on various developments, some of them not savory, but nonetheless we're here to keep you informed, especially now the police are on a manhunt, or rather doing an investigation on a fellow, or rather counterpart, one of them who allegedly killed his wife and also took his own life. That is going to be coming up in not too long as we speak Matters News tonight on Sunday Express. First things first though, a look at the highlights.
At least 5 people die as the building under construction collapses in Seneca, Kisii County. Farmers cautioned against being duped into buying fertilizer at inflated prices.
To a large extent, SHA is working, but there are certain tipping problems that need to be addressed, and those ones are the ones that we are going to address to improve it.
The Ombudsman urges the Ministry of Health to address challenges hindering shift operations. And Kenya Shujaas edged out of the cup title by Fiji after a spirited campaign at the Singapore Sevens.
This is Sunday Express. I'm Regina Manyara and my colleague is Lensa Ondingo. Now, we start off with some sad news where 5 people have been confirmed dead and 3 others sustained injuries after a 3-story building under construction collapsed in Seneca Township, Kisii County. Now, the exact number of people trapped inside the building is yet to be confirmed. The Area County Commissioner Joseph Kibet says rescue operations are still ongoing.
This is what used to be the 3-story building under construction that collapsed in Seneca Township, Kisii County, trapping an unknown number of people. 5 have already been confirmed dead, with 3 sustaining injuries and are being treated at Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital. The exact number of people trapped inside the rubble is yet to be confirmed as rescue operations continue. The area member of the County Assembly, John Mbati, says some of the victims who are working at the construction alleged the use of low-quality materials and poor workmanship.
Ile chuma ametumia ni wire 12 peke yake. Wire 12 inasimamisha ghorofa ya nyumba ya kwenda ghorofa 3 pande inchi gani? Kenya hii huwezi tumia wire 12 kusimamisha nyumba. Kwa hivyo ndiye imefanya bila tuniangalia zile materials zimetumika kwa kujenga, ndio zimefanya hii nyumba imeanguka.
The building collapsed onto neighboring houses and businesses, but there were no casualties. The residents also say the ill-fated building had stalled before the owner resumed the construction works when the incident occurred.
Huyu mtoto ni mtoto wa ndugu yangu ambaye anaitwa Poas. Nimesemekana ya kwamba alikuja hapa kuchukua pesa ambayo alifanyia kazi ya matofali ambayo alifanya kazi jana. So punde tu hiyo ghorofa ikaanguka.
Huyu ni bwanangu, alikuwa hapa ndani, alikuja kuchukua pesa na leta matofali huku. Ndio nimesikia saizi eti hiyo ghorofa imeanguka.
Tilio Marco for Sunday Express.
That's a story we'll be keenly following up on as the rescue continues to find out if indeed there's anyone trapped, and if there is indeed that retrieval and rescue is ongoing. We'll be keeping tabs on that. Now, 2 people succumbed to injuries, increasing the death toll from Saturday's road accident in Kaplong, Kericho County to 15. 14 others are nursing injuries at various facilities in the region. Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport Davis Churcher, who visited some of the casualties at the Kaplong Hospital on Sunday, disclosed that to avert such incidences in future, the government has reviewed the relevant regulations to be published this coming week.
Saturday's fatal accident at Cheptanguge village in Rajasita area along the Kericho-Kaplong highway near the Kericho-Bomet county's border has caught the attention of authorities. On Sunday afternoon, Cabinet Secretary Roads and Transport visited the region to condole with the affected families.
Let me take this opportunity to pass my message of condolence to the affected families and to a large extent to the nation for the wanton loss of lives and people injured.
It is here that he announced measures the government has taken to curb road carnage.
We have developed necessary regulations and rules pursuant to the Traffic Act Cap 403 of the laws of Kenya.
Kericho says the Ministry of Roads and Transport, in collaboration with the National Transport and Safety Authority, has amended rules and regulations under the Traffic Act on drinking and driving, traffic motor vehicle inspection rules, operation of commercial service vehicles, and the traffic school transport rule. On his part, Bomet Governor Hilary Barchok cautioned motorists and other road users against flouting traffic rules.
Don't overspeed. Usikujwe na kuendesha gari, don't overload.
Meanwhile, Sotik Member of Parliament Francis Sigei has implored the Ministry of Roads and Transport to prioritize the expansion of the narrow road, which they say has become a black spot.
Jambo la kwanza hapa ni barabara ambayo nyepamba sana. Ukielekea Sotik kutoka bridge ya Mugeni, barabara ni narrow. Na waziri amesema kwamba atachukua jukumu ya kuangalia kwamba barabara hizo zimepanuliwa.
Doreen Arange for Sunday Express.
To more sad news is that 3 children aged 4, 2 and 1 perished in a fire incident in Gashia village, Kiambu constituency, Kiambu County. An 8-year-old boy was lucky to escape with injuries during the fire incident that occurred last night. The area member of County Assembly, Kabao Modondu, says the bodies of the 3 children have been taken to Kihara Level 4 Hospital morgue awaiting an autopsy, while the injured boy has been admitted at the same hospital. The area residents say they tried but in vain to put out the fire, with the Kiambu County Fire engine arriving late at the scene. Police are investigating the cause of the fire.
Sasa hatuwezi jua janga hiyo moto ilitoka kwa sababu gani. Juu stima ilikuwa imepotea. Hatuwezi sema ni stima. Maybe kulikuwa ni candle walikuwa wamewasha na akawacha. So kuanzia hapo sasa sijui juu sasa ni watoto watatu wameungua pale kiasi cha kutotambulikana. Na ni mmoja tu ndiye ametoka akiwa hai.
Wakati wowote wanawacha watoto wadogo kwa manyumba, wawe wamekuwa na mipango dhabiti ya kuona ya kwamba kuna mtu mkubwa ako karibu anaweza saidiana na hii watoto ikiwa kuna shida yoyote inaweza kutokea.
The month of April. Now, farmers are being cautioned against falling victim to unscrupulous traders reselling government-subsidized fertilizer at inflated prices. Principal Secretary in the State Department of Agriculture, Paul Rono, says the government has received complaints and is taking decisive steps to protect farmers from exploitation.
The recent flagging off of a consignment of 20,000 metric tons of fertilizer from the port of Mombasa was a welcome relief to farmers, especially with the onset of the long rain season. However, this initiative risks being derailed by unscrupulous traders who have inflated prices on the fertilizer.
Sasa nimesikia kuna wakora. Juzi wamejitokeza kwa vituo vya usambaza mbolea na kuanza kuwa brokers. Wakulima wananunua mbolea kwa bei ya juu kidogo. Wanaenda katikati, wanaenda kuuzia, ndio wanauza mbolea, anaongeza shilingi 500. Ninajua hawa vichana, hawa wakora. Ndio tumepeleka polisi kutoka jana na security wote, na utaisikia juzi very soon watu wako ndani.
Agriculture PS Paul Rono sounded the alarm, urging farmers to buy fertilizer only from authorized National Cereals and Produce Board depots, assuring that there is enough supply across the country.
Kwa sababu tunajua bei ya mbolea vile serikali imeweka ni shilingi 2,500, na kama kuna mkulima yoyote hata yeye ananunua kwa shilingi ya juu ya 2,500, hata wewe unatakikana kuwekwa ndani kwa sababu you are part of the corruption.
At the same time, the PS has weighed in on a demand by tea farmers supplying Kapkoros Tea Factory on the separation of satellite factories in Olenguruoni and Mogotio in order to improve service delivery and transparency.
Kama wale wakurugenzi wa Kapkoros yenye nimesikia wameenda kwa kotini kusema hakuna separation tu ya Kapkoros na tu ya Mogotiko na tu ya Olenguruoni, inawapatia tu wiki moja kuhakikisha kwamba wamelainisha hiyo maneno. Wasipofanya hivyo watakutana na serikali wiki moja.
PS Rono emphasized that farmers must remain at the center of all decision-making processes, warning against actions that derail reforms meant to empower producers at the grassroots. Kamchemenza for Sunday Express.
You're encouraged to report those outlets that are inflating the prices of fertilizer. Now, the Commission on Administrative Justice has pledged to push the Ministry of Health to address challenges facing transition to the Social Health Insurance Fund that is spearheaded by the Social Health Authority, SHA. Speaking in Kilifi County, after touring health facilities in the area to register grievances from members of the public and public servants, the Commission's chairperson, Charles Orinda Dulo, admitted that SHA and SHIF were facing teething operational challenges as depicted by many patients.
According to Charles Orinda Dula, the chairperson of the Commission on Administrative Justice, a visit to a section of hospitals in Malindi and Kilifi reveals patients from underprivileged backgrounds have trouble accessing primary health care. The Office of the Ombudsman is currently assessing the situation in several counties and will present its findings to the Ministry of Health.
To a large extent, SHA is working, but there are certain teething problems that need to be addressed, and those ones are the ones that we are going to address to improve it and to be able to make sure that the Kenyan citizens get the health care, and especially primary health care.
Kilifi County Governor Gideon Mungaro acknowledged challenges in implementation of the new medical scheme, but assured residents they will be assisted to register at the health facilities.
While they are following up, I want to assure the Kilifi residents that nobody will be turned away because they are not registered or they have forgotten the ID card, because we register them on the spot now. And the CHPs are doing that program for us now, mashinani.
Mungaro said the county has received 29 million shillings from the Social Health Authority to facilitate rollout.
Kilifi County have a mechanism of reporting any complaint that they have in terms of public service delivery failure, and they're able to redress it.
Between NHIF and SHA, we are owed about 210 million. So slowly we are claiming. We hope what the new minister promised of 14 days it will work, because that means that it reduces a lot of burden.
Kasichana Masha, Sunday Express.
Just in time for a fast breather on Sunday Express. We'll be right back with more. Do not go away.
Kupitia star 570 hash tunakupa nafasi ya kuchomoka na this beautiful Mazda Demio. Enjoy a beautiful, clean, semi-leather interior, low mileage, fuel-efficient 1300cc engine, great for personal use and business. Ukitaka kujishindia gari hii, kucheza ni rahisi sana. Chukua simu yako, bonyeza star 570 hash, chagua option 3. And for only 35 shillings, hii gari inaweza kuwa yako. Kumbuka kucheza mara kadhaa, because the more you play, the higher chances of wewe kuwa mshindi.
Mungu ni mwema, asante Mungu. Ile nitakuwa naendesha hivi.
Dial star 570 hash and make this dream car yours.
Cheza Loto Moto.
Tanki ya maji ya lita 10,000. Hiyo ni kitu ya kukustua. Sinafunguliwa mfereji sina.
Kwani unakuja kupiga dawa ya kunguni ama dawa ya panya unakuja kuweka?
Dawa ya kunguni napigwa na nyundo mama Kayai.
Wewe na hii nywele yako
inakuashia nini?
You have an angular face.
Unataka nishike moso tu.
Your nose pop.
Ugwachana na lecho jangu wewe.
Si nilikuwa tu naangalia.
Hii imetoka nimesota.
Ameliga na kumesota. Ukiangalia yule mnyana kaa lovely zaidi kushinda mwingine ni mkane.
Wewe hata ukikaa chini bado umesimama.
Tunaona ukiniangalia lakini unaangalia chini.
Wewe nani wewe? What are these manze?
Welcome back, and we pick it up from where we left off, but now focusing on matters politics, where the Talai Community Council in Nandi County is now calling on President William Ruto to include former Baringo Senator and KANU Party Chairman Gideon Moi, along with other former leaders in his government, to work together to unite the nation and improve peace in the country. The elders buried previous political differences and united, urging the president and the KANU party chairman to also reconcile. Meanwhile, ODM is set to hold grassroots elections Monday, where delegates elected at the polling unit level will elect delegates for ward level.
Speaking in Berere village in Tinderet constituency, Nandi County, the Talai elders say there is need for President William Ruto to reach out to KANU party leader Gideon Moi and work together ahead of the 2027 general elections.
Amani sasa ni kwenda mbele na watu wa Kenya watasikana kuwa kitu moja. Kenya wamechanganyana mpaka na kuwa kitu moja, alafu nataka kukawana kwa namna gani? Tutakuwa pamoja ili yule mlaivuni mwingine asitoe kwa ile kando nyingine, yule laivuni mwingine anatoa kando nyingine. Tutashirikiana ili tutoe pamoja.
Meanwhile, ODM is set to hold grassroots elections on Monday, where delegates elected at the polling unit level will elect delegates for ward level. This as a section of ODM members in Wangcheng Ward, Homa Bay County, allege a list of selected officials has already been submitted to the ODM office, raising questions about the credibility and fairness of the planned exercise.
Some cartels of the party have organized a parallel meeting in their own homesteads to endorse illegally elected people and impose on the people of this region. We are saying no in the highest terms possible.
Elsewhere, National Assembly Leader of Majority Kimani Ichung'wah and Matungulu MP Stephen Mule have condemned heinous attack witnessed at a church in Kasarani, Nairobi, where former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was attending the service.
Siasa amna hiyo imepitwa na wakati. Siasa ya kutumia vijana, na niulize vijana wote Kenya mzima. Mtu yoyote anataka kukutumia kuleta furugu, huyo ni mtu ambaye amekosa wazo, amekosa nia.
Meanwhile, the Office of Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has dismissed media reports linking Mudavadi with a new political party. In a statement newsroom, the Director Press Service, Jacob Ngetich, said Mudavadi is firmly in Kenya Kwanza government and committed to his responsibilities.
Now, a non-governmental organization in partnership with government institutions organized a field trip to sensitize players in the agriculture sector on climate-smart agriculture. The initiative, which took place at the Kiboko Field Station in Makueni County, showcased work in climate resilience, germplasm conservation, and millet value addition ahead of the International Science Week.
again, we are still looking in terms of forage because it's...
At Makueni County, Kiboko Field Station, dryland agriculture is thriving. At the lush green field, drought-tolerant crop varieties such as sorghum, millet, pigeon pea, and groundnuts are flourishing. During the field trip, the International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropic scientists sensitized farmers on transforming dryland agriculture while giving insights into ICRISAT's mini gene bank, how to conserve genetic resources for sorghum, millet, pigeon pea, and groundnut to support breeding programs across Africa.
In East and Southern Africa.
Value addition and the commercial potential of millet emerged as a novel idea, resulting in an array of dishes from cakes, cookies, and sweet cakes to millet pilau.
Niliona watu wengi hawafurahii ile sura yake hizo millets, wengine hawafurahii vile inatengenezwa, wanajua tu ni uji na pengine ni ya kuku. Sasa nikaona tukiitengeneza kwa njia nyingine ya kupendeza itafanya watu wengi wapate kuitumia.
Bright Jumbo, the lead scientist in plant breeding at ICRISAT, rooted for the adoption of drought-tolerant crops to mitigate climate change.
In terms of dryland resilient crops, we find that if we continue to develop more resilient crops, both for diseases and also for pests, at the same time also looking at what the market is wanting or requiring.
The adaptive traits that we are trying to incorporate in these crops are, first of all, the short duration materials, so that we can have materials that are growing at a rate at which will be equal to the amount of rain that the farmers are receiving.
Similarly, the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization is also collaborating with agricultural stakeholders on measures to enhance food security.
What we are going to do is to discuss on how to come up with solutions in developing improved technologies in agriculture and also improved recommendations in agriculture to be able to curb these problems which are facing farmers nowadays.
With this research institute, I think it can play a really critical role in addressing food insecurity in our country because it specializes in the needs of our country.
This comes as agricultural sector players prepare for the consultative group on International Agricultural Research Science Week from the 7th to 11th of April 2025 at the UN complex in Gigiri. As the Science Week approaches, players in the agricultural sector are coming up with solutions that will help curb food insecurity within the country. For KBC Channel 1, I am Teresa Mutai. To the counties now. Police officers in Homa Bay County have launched investigations into the death of a police officer who reportedly took his own life after allegedly killing his 3 children in Kagoga Village, Kericho West Sub-County. Preliminary investigations suggest that the act may have been linked to a long-standing domestic dispute. Details of this and other stories in our county news round.
According to reports, the 30-year-old police officer who was stationed at Marsabit County and was currently on leave is believed to have poisoned his 3 children before taking his own life.
When something comes up within our children, let us come up immediately and solve these matters. This could have been prevented if the families of the officer and maybe the other members of the family could have come together and listen and solve the issue. That could not be, we could not be meeting today in this unfortunate incident.
And the church is calling on the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports to support youth initiatives in churches. During the launch of a choir by the Good News Church of Africa in Nairobi, the church leadership emphasized the need for government goodwill to empower young people.
Kanisa ni wajibu wetu kwa sababu we are the mirror. Sisi ndio mirror kwa community. Tukaweze kuwachukua hao ambao wamenachukuliwa sasa kama misfits.
tupeleke mashule. Juzi kuna mmoja tumepeleka shule na tunaendelea hivyo hivyo kunulia wanayudhi wetu ndiposa wasiweze wakapotea.
And human rights defenders in Garissa County are demanding justice for a 28-year-old pregnant woman who died in a stampede while queuing for food at the E42 refugee camp in Dadaab sub-county on Friday. Hadija Nur Ali is said to have been in the last trimester of pregnancy.
We call upon the UNHCR, that is the UN agency mandated to protect refugees, and the Directorate of Refugee Services, which is the government agency mandated to protect refugees, to carry out a comprehensive investigation on this matter and submit a report on the status of why a 9-month pregnant woman was not given priority.
In Kajiado County, it is a sigh of relief for hundreds of traders who have been operating in a makeshift market in Kitengela town following the official opening of an ultra-modern market. Kajiado Governor Joseph Olelenku, who officially opened the 60 million shillings facility, assured the traders that the available stalls will be allocated fairly.
Halitakuwa soko ya kabila moja na halitakuwa soko ya mrengo moja ya siasa. Hii soko itakuwa ya Wakenya wanaoishi sehemu hii ya Kitengela.
In Baringo County, Timboyo Primary School in Baringo Central Sub-County is said to benefit from a major boost in school infrastructure courtesy of M-Pesa Foundation. The initiative will see the renovation of existing classrooms and the construction of new facilities in the school.
The purpose of this program is A, to make sure that our children have a learning environment that allows them to study well, allows them to get digital skills.
Martini Maslin for Sunday Express. Now, from the global scene, thousands of people took part in protests against President Donald Trump and Elon Musk across all 5 states of the United States and globally, including the UK. The protests were organized by pro-democracy movement in response to what they call a hostile takeover and attack on American rights and freedoms. Some protesters said they were motivated by tariff barriers imposed globally and the immigration raids on U.S. university students that have led to arrest and deportation proceedings.
Protesters gathered in cities across the United States to denounce President Donald Trump in the largest nationwide show of opposition since he took office in January. The hands-off protest planners aim to hold rallies in 1,200 locations, including all 50 U.S. states. Thousands of people turned out in Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York and Washington, D.C., among other cities. Hands up! This coming after Trump announced that the U.S. would impose import tariffs on most countries around the world. Some protesters say they were motivated by immigration raids on U.S. university students that have led to arrest and deportation proceedings.
I want people to know that their attorney general, that's me, we've sued now 14 times and we've won every time.
Can't have it. Can't have it. We're here for the people here. So we're going to fight the power and change laws.
Organizers say they have 3 demands: an end to the billionaire takeover and rampant corruption of the Trump administration, an end to slashing federal funds for Medicaid, Social Security and other programs working people rely on, and an end to the attacks on immigrants, transgender people and other communities.
I will fight till I am beaten down because they deserve the safety that everyone else deserves.
Gatherings were also held outside the United States, including London, Paris and Berlin. In London, crowds gathered to express their anger toward Trump's policies, in particular the latest reciprocal tariffs. France, the UK, Italy, Australia, Singapore, South Africa and Bolivia announced their opposition to the US, with several nations said to be considering retaliatory measures.
He's attacking the press. He's attacking universities. He's trying to tell people what they should teach their children in school. He's taking money from Social Security, from Medicare. People are going to be hungry, they're going to be sick and not be able to get medical.
Experts say the tariffs do not augur well for the U.S. economy.
I certainly think prices are going to increase in the United States. There's going to be rising voter anger. Probably a recession could be triggered. That will ripple around the world because production around the world will decrease as American consumption decreases. So I think it's going to drive everybody into a race towards the bottom. We will be looking at 5% or more unemployment in the United States.
Give us Manyara, Sunday Express.
Now, point of correction, it was not, those demonstrations were not held across 50 states in the United States, not 5, but 50 states across the United States. We'll be keeping tabs on this particular development. When we look at Kenya-US trade relations, would say that trade is in favor of the United States. And like looking at one sector, that is tourism, is that is one of the main sources for Kenya when it comes to the sector. We'll be keeping tabs on that. Now, Pope Francis made a surprise public appearance on Sunday at St. Peter's Square at the Vatican. The first time the leader of the Catholic Church has been seen in public since leaving hospital 2 weeks ago. The 88-year-old had spent 5 weeks battling pneumonia, where he came close to death, according to the medical team.
On Sunday, Pope Francis made a surprise appearance at St. Peter's Square following his discharge from hospital after 5 weeks of treatment. He greeted crowds at the Vatican and seemed to be in good spirits. He was seated in a wheelchair and wearing what appeared to be a nasal cannula, aiding his breathing. The Pope was discharged from hospital in Rome on 23rd March and appeared at his window then to offer a blessing. The Pope appeared to move his arms around with more ease. His voice was still weak, but stronger than 2 weeks ago. Crowds of worshippers gathered at the Vatican St. Peter's Square when the Pope made his short appearance after a mass dedicated to the sick. The prolonged hospital stay marked the biggest health crisis Francis has experienced since he was elected as Pope in 2013. For Sunday Express, I'm Christine Matunda.
Sasa kwa star 570 hash option ya 4 kuna kashamba juja na nika 50 by 100 worth 1.7 million Kenyan shillings. Na hii si shamba tu, iko kwa prime location, few minutes from Juja Town. Stima yako iko ndani, na kama ni development, rapid and so promising. Na mambo ya landlord, mwisho wa mwanzo ni hapa. Ukishinda hili shamba, tunakuongeza 1 million Kenyan shillings ujijengee nyumba yako kwa shamba yako. Kuinuka na Loto Moto ni kucheza sasa hivi kupitia star 570 hash option ya 4 au register deposit na ucheze sasa hivi kwa www.tushinde.com na ujishindie shamba hili na addition of 1 million Kenyan shillings in new.
Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Without technological advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve without it. Take on Tech looks at the advantages and downside of technological innovation in a world that is becoming increasingly dependent on new digital technologies. Every Monday at 10:30 p.m.
Good evening to you. My name is Daniel Wahome and welcome to Sunday Express Sport. Now, Kenya's Shujaa narrowly missed out on a cup title at the Singapore Sevens after falling short of Fiji in a final played Sunday afternoon. In a repeat of the 2016 final when Kenya won their first ever cup title, Shujaa could not do a double on Fiji in Singapore and lost 12-21 to finish second.
The Singapore Men's Cup final is underway.
Having not gotten things right in the first 5 legs of the HSBC Sevens World Series this season, Kenya's 7th side Shujaa got into the Singapore leg in dire need of points.
Is getting back. Amaitsa for Kenya. Amaitsa gets there first.
And they got off to the best start, beating Ireland and France in the group stages before ending Spain's cup title hopes in the semi-final. Shujaa could not just get over the last hurdle in the name of Fiji, losing the final 12-21 to finish second in Singapore, collecting 18 points for their best performance this season. Going into the final leg in Los Angeles in May, Kenya are still 9th on the table with 36 points, 14 behind 8th placed Great Britain. Argentina remain in control with 104 points, 8 above second-placed Fiji. The Los Angeles Sevens, the final leg of the season, will be played on the 3rd and 4th of May.
Brian Tanga. Opportunity down the right edge for Mwangi, and he's there. William Mwangi.
Barclay Feather, Sunday Express.
Now, Olympic 800 meters champion Emmanuel Wanyonyi stormed to victory in the men's 1,500 meters race at the inaugural Kingston Grand Slam track meeting held at the Independence Park National Stadium in Jamaica. The 20-year-old, making his international debut over the distance, surged over Yared Nuguse in the final straight to secure the win with a new personal best of 3 minutes 35.18 seconds. Reigning Olympic 1,500 meter champion Cole Hawker of the US finished in 3rd place with a time of 3 minutes 35.52 seconds. The Kingston Grand Slam marks the first event in the Grand Slam track series, founded by 4-time Olympic gold medalist Michael Johnson. The event kicks off a series of 4 major meetings with upcoming competitions set to take place in Miami, Florida, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Los Angeles.
So, Carrie, what's the script here?
Well, I like that Cole Hawker had the beard coming in, and he doesn't have it on the track now. It is all serious business out there for him. He says he's the best racer in the world over this distance, and he's proved that indoors. He's got the savvy. He knows how to lead races, but he's got a kick. He's been working on it. Not surprised to see, though, an aerope in the back there, just kind of feeling out the first couple laps, seeing where this 800-meter speed will take him.
Well, I'm not sure, what pace do you go at early on? When you take the lead, you want to make it steady, which is what this is. It's not super quick. It was around about 60 seconds I made that. Actually, it's come up. Hawker is getting back involved here. He let them get away, but he's right on the inside on the curve. Might pick off 1 or 2. It's Nagus, it's Kerr, it's Wanyonyi, it's Hawker, and it's Gurley. This is still anybody's race. It is Wanyonyi. He's getting to the front. Wanyonyi, the Olympic 800-meter champion, takes it to the 1,500 guys. Then Hawker, very close after that between the 2 Scots. Well, they played into his hands. I said at the beginning, I think he can run this type of 1,500-meter race. He might not run 3:28 yet, or maybe even 3:30, 3:31. But you put hard, and he went a little bit early perhaps, but he had to do that really when you saw everybody that was sitting on his shoulder. What's going to happen in the 800 meters now? What? That's exactly what Grand Slam is meant to be about. Great racing from brilliant athletes, an Olympic champion in one event.
And the last night of the Kingston Grand Slam track meeting is tonight. Tomorrow morning, we'll give you what goes down even as Mary Moraa tries out the 1,500 meters. Moving on is that the Kenya national wrestling team has continued to beef up preparations ahead of the Africa Beach Wrestling Championship to be held from the 26th of this month to the 6th of May in Casablanca, Morocco. The selected players will begin their training camp at Kasarani on the 20th of this month ahead of the Continental Championship. Some of the players who will compete in Morocco competed in the Mombasa Beach Tournament, where Levi Simiu won the senior men's under 70 kilograms category, while Ben Olo won the under 80 kg. Nur Ratande won the juniors under 70 kilos.
It's competition. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. But we have had 2 championships at our club level and have emerged as the best under 86 kg.
Internationally, sahi hatuko mahali pabaya sana. Kwa sababu hata this is our first game, we are preparing for Olympic Games, Youth Olympic Games ambayo itakuwa held in Senegal. So si mbaya sana. Internationally, we've also participated in Africa Beach Wrestling Games na tuko na silver na bronze. Kwa hivyo hatuko vibaya sana.
We have got traditional wrestling, but this one now we have brought it to beach wrestling. But another way is traditional wrestling, but this one now is about the rules. We have modernized it now because it's a sport that pays.
And welcome back, and let's continue with Sunday Express Sports. Now, title contenders Kenya Police and Tusker FC played two respective draws on match day 26 of the FKF Premier League season 2024-2025. Kenya Police ended with a balanced draw against City Stars, while Tusker FC were held to a 1-1 draw by Mara Sugar.
1 point still separates Kenya Police and Tusker FC at the top of the FKF Premier League table after both sides played two draws in their respective matches.
Bado naye Omar anaichanja ndani kichwa chake David. Chuma ile. Hawajapona bado. Tena kwake Bajaber anaileta ndani kwake Leku.
Tusker surrendered a 1-goal lead in the second half to draw 1-1 with Mara Sugar, while Kenya Police neither scored nor conceded to share a point each with City Stars in their goalless draw. Only Kariobangi Sharks and Shabana left the pitch with 3 points in the 5 games played on Sunday afternoon. Sharks struggled to beat FC Talanta 2-1, while Shabana easily beat Bandari FC 3-1.
Mmeanziwa James Ogachi Mazembe. Jairus Msaga. Leta cross ndani Austin Musa Odongo. Ni last one Austin Musa Odongo. Anaambia ona Bandari bei ya jana sio ya leo. M10. Analeta ndani bro. Joseph Otieno Nyango mimina ndani. Wamerejea. Wamepata moja wana Bandari.
Muranga Seal and Bidco United found the net once each in the second half to draw 1-1 at full time.
And Kenya will host the third edition of the Grannies International Football Tournament in the year 2027. After being hosted in South Africa on 2 occasions, the inaugural tournament was staged in 2023, while the second edition ended last evening. This year's edition attracted more than 20 teams from 9 countries, including Kenya, Togo, Zambia, the USA, and host South Africa, who had 12 teams in the tournament. Kenya's Mutai FC won 2 matches, drew 1 and lost 1 in the 4 matches they played. Captain Gertrude Mutai was the top scorer with 3 goals, while 88-year-old Tala Kaino was the oldest participant in the competition. The Kenyan Grannies are expected back home tonight. And Liverpool's 26-match unbeaten run in the English Premier League came to an end after they suffered a 3-2 loss to Fulham at Craven Cottage. Southampton, meanwhile, suffered the earliest relegation in the English Premier League history after losing by 3-1 to Tottenham Hotspur in North London.
Away from the retreating Jota. Inside ball in from Pereira, not the worst. Oh, magnificent strike from Sessi on for 1-1. Derry potentially here for Iwobi. Brilliantly taken.
It is Matisse Tell, this to settle it beyond Ramsdale, and it is a first Premier League goal for Tell.
But no, it was a good team play from Spurs.
And so that's the sport. And just a wrap of the English Premier League tonight: Brentford 0, Chelsea 0, Fulham 3, Liverpool 2, Tottenham Hotspur 3, Southampton 1, and Manchester City and Manchester United ended in a barren draw. 0-0 it is tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Leicester City against Newcastle United. That's it from me, Daniel Wahome. Join us tomorrow bright and early at 10 a.m. on Sports Check, where we'll be having 4 conversations. We start with golf, the Sunshine Development Tour. The Sunshine Tour is Africa's most prestigious tour, but Kenyan golfers have to start from the second tier. Then we'll be talking about the Kenya Cup final, Menengai Oilers against Cabras Sugar. It's going to be played next weekend. The coaches of Menengai Oilers and Cabras Sugar, that's Gibson Weru and Carlos Katio, will be joining us via Zoom from Nakuru and Kakamega respectively. And then we've got a safeguarding officer for African Judo. She's from Kenya. She's been appointed. Professor Sheila Kalunga joins us at 11 a.m. And then, think of this. Baseball is an American sport. Not much is said about it, but the Kenyan team did something that hasn't happened in the qualifiers for the Baseball 5 competition. They went through unbeaten, never lost a single game, so they will be joining us at around 11:20 a.m. That's Sports Check tomorrow morning, bright and early from 10 a.m. right here on your true sports partner, KBC Channel 1. My name is Daniel Wahome. Thank you for keeping it sporty, and back to you, Regina.
Well, that puts a cap on Matters news tonight on Sunday Express. Being the 6th of April 2025, is still actively in the Lantern campaign there. Some of the developing stories that we're going to be keeping a close watch on is rescue operations down in Kisii County. That is after a 3-story building under construction collapsed there in Suneka Township, Kisii County. We are also going to be looking at what is going to be happening as in investigations in Kiambu County, where 3 children aged 4, 2 and 1 perished in a fire. Investigations have been launched to ascertain the cause of the fire, and those bodies are awaiting an autopsy at the Kabau Mothondo Hospital there in Kihara Level 4 Hospital there. So we'll also be looking at that. Then also down in Homa Bay County, investigations have been launched into a case where a police officer killed himself, or rather committed suicide. That is after allegedly killing his 3 children in Kagoga Village, Karachuonyo West Sub-County. Sad stories, but nonetheless, we are here to keep you informed on the developments in those areas. Do have a pleasant week ahead, and remember to be grateful for all that you have. I'm Regina Manyara. Have a pleasant week ahead.
As technology advances, it continually expands the possibilities for digital art. Art to stimulate the imagination.